Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and give this video a like up. The Young and the Restless let down fans in many lackluster storylines. There are 5 worst Y&R plots to consider from Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, Desperation to Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, Spiraling and Kyle Abbott's, Michael Mealer, entitled Pouting. Many plots left viewers let down, and we're certainly hoping for better in 2025. Our number 5 Young and the Restless bad plot of 2024 was an amalgam of 3 plots. Fans wondered why so many simultaneous mental health storylines. Connor Newman, Judah Mackey, Ashley Abbott, Eileen Davidson, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, all had psychological issues. The simultaneous unfolding of these 3 storylines was a misstep, as it diluted the impact. Another Y&R subplot that made our list as number 4 worst was the rapid redemption of Claire Newman, Haley Aaron. Her transformation on Young and the Restless, going from a criminal to a saint, was too swift to be legit. Young and the Restless really annoyed fans, having Phyllis Summers run amok. Her cringe antics chasing Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, ranked as our number 3 worst plot of Y&R for the last year. Many fans found it hard to stomach. Y&R also saw Kyle Abbott's, Michael Mealer, tantrum-filled nepo brattiness annoying. It ranked as our 4th worst plot on Young and the Restless. He betrayed family and didn't earn the redemption he was handed. Despite his disruptive behavior, he was rewarded with a co-CEO position. That didn't sit well with the audience. And our very worst number 1 rated plot of the year centered on Chelsea Lawson. Find out why Chelsea made the top spot in our video, along with a deep dive into the bad writing that put these 5 plots on our most disliked list for Young and the Restless storylines. The Young and the Restless, Y&R, a beloved staple of daytime television, has been a source of drama, intrigue, and compelling storylines for decades. However, like all long-running shows, some storylines just don't hit the mark. While some characters and plots have left lasting impressions on fans, others have missed the mark, either confusing viewers, frustrating fans, or simply feeling like filler material. In this article, we will explore some of the worst storylines to have graced Genoa City in recent years, focusing on characters like Phyllis, Chelsea, and Kyle, and other major flops that fans still shake their heads about. Phyllis Summers, played by Michelle Stafford, has always been one of Y&R's most divisive characters. As a fiery and sometimes manipulative woman, she has had many memorable storylines. However, not all of them have been as enjoyable or believable. One of the most perplexing storylines involved Phyllis's ongoing obsession with Jack Abbott, Peter Birdman. Despite having a tumultuous relationship with him in the past, Phyllis has repeatedly found herself in love with Jack or plotting against his family. These back-and-forth shifts are grating, as they leave viewers wondering where Phyllis's true affections lie and what her intentions are. This indecision, paired with some questionable decisions, often made Phyllis appear inconsistent. Another misstep was the storyline where Phyllis was dead for a period, only to later return alive and well. This played out like an absurd soap opera trope, with no real impact on her character development. Phyllis had been through so many ups and downs at that point that her death felt more like a cheap gimmick rather than an emotional payoff. As the character re-emerged, fans were left questioning why she had been written out in such a dramatic and pointless way. These kinds of plot lines took away from the depth and power that Phyllis could have brought to more emotionally grounded arcs. Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, has seen her share of ups and downs, but perhaps her most frustrating storyline was her seemingly never-ending redemption arc. While her troubled past, including involvement in criminal activity and betrayal, made her an interesting character at first, her constant attempts at reinventing herself have started to wear thin with fans. Chelsea's romantic entanglements also add to her problematic character development. She has often been portrayed as someone constantly in search of validation and love, which eventually leads her to making dubious decisions that fans can't get behind. While her involvement with Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, is filled with chemistry, their on-again, off-again relationship often feels repetitive. In fact, Chelsea's journey to gain acceptance and fix her life doesn't always seem believable or compelling. What made things worse was her dramatic storylines involving her mental health struggles and subsequent manipulations of those around her. In some cases, Chelsea would go from being a victim to a villain in the blink of an eye. This inconsistency in her character undermined the potential for a solid arc, and instead, viewers saw a character who never seemed to learn from her mistakes. In short, Chelsea's redemption arcs didn't feel like genuine growth for the character. Instead, they seemed like an attempt to make her likable after every misstep, leaving audiences unsatisfied with her story. Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, is another character who has seen significant changes in his journey on Y&R. But many fans feel that his storylines, especially in recent years, have been lackluster and underwhelming. As the son of Jack Abbott and the great-grandson of John Abbott, Kyle's heritage and legacy should have made him a more central figure in the drama of Genoa City. Instead, he has often been relegated to side plots that fail to captivate the audience. The most egregious of Kyle's storylines was his back and forth with Summer Newman, Hunter King, in the romance department. While their love story had potential, it was bogged down by endless breakups, reunions, and the repetitive drama around their relationship. What made matters worse was the lack of true stakes. Neither Kyle nor Summer seemed to undergo real personal growth or transformations during their on-again, off-again romance. Furthermore, Kyle's relationship with his mother, Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, was brought to the forefront in a way that felt unnecessarily melodramatic. Diane's return to town, after being presumed dead for many years, was a storyline that should have carried serious emotional weight. Instead, it often felt more like a distraction from the other rich storylines taking place in Genoa City. While Kyle's reluctance to forgive Diane had some merit, the way the plot was handled felt forced, and ultimately, it did not add much to his character arc. Another major flaw in Kyle's storyline was his relationship with the young child Harrison Locke. Harrison, the son of Kyle and his ex-girlfriend, Tara Locke, has been at the center of a messy custody battle. While the custody struggle is not inherently a bad idea for a storyline, it became tiresome due to the fact that it overshadowed much more compelling character arcs. The storyline became bogged down in melodrama, with both Kyle and Summer being placed in roles that didn't feel true to their characters. Kyle's extreme focus on Harrison's well-being took away from his professional and personal growth, and instead of the custody battle contributing to a greater understanding of Kyle's character, it only painted him as obsessive. This repetitive storyline filled the screen with predictable, recycled plot points, making it a major miss. In soap operas, the villain is a staple of drama, but sometimes the villains become so cartoonish and exaggerated that they feel out of place. One such storyline was when Phyllis Summers, trying to get revenge on her rival, launched her never-ending battle with a mysterious foe. Unfortunately, this villain never truly materialized as a significant threat, making the build-up feel anticlimactic. When the antagonist was eventually revealed, the payoff was disappointing. Rather than a shocking twist or a true challenge to Phyllis' power, the reveal was flat, leaving fans unsatisfied and wondering if it was all worth the build-up. This type of storyline highlights the danger of overpromising and underdelivering, a theme that plagues soap operas when they rely too heavily on suspense that doesn't result in meaningful outcomes. Y&R is no stranger to will they or won't they arcs, but sometimes these storylines can feel too stretched out and redundant. A prime example of this can be found in the on-again, off-again dynamic between Kyle and Summer. Despite their undeniable chemistry, the constant switching between love, breakup, and tension started to feel like a filler plot rather than something with real emotional stakes. Another such redundant storyline involves Adam Newman's continual tug-of-war with the Newman family. Adam's need for approval from his father, Victor Newman, and his ongoing battles for power within the family empire have been an enduring part of the series. However, the repetition of this storyline has turned him into a less compelling character over time. It is clear that Adam's journey of seeking redemption and a place in the family is important. But at times, it seems like the show has beaten the horse too many times. The worst Y&R storylines are not necessarily the ones with the most dramatic twists or shocking moments, but those that fail to contribute meaningfully to character growth or fail to evolve past initial plotlines. While Phyllis, Chelsea, and Kyle have been integral to the drama in Genoa City, Many of their arcs have felt recycled, frustrating, or flat-out confusing. What Y&R fans crave is the return of sharp, emotionally resonant storytelling that focuses on depth, growth, and conflict that leads to meaningful change rather than drawn-out melodramatic cycles that ultimately lead nowhere. As the show moves forward, fans hope that The Young and the Restless will focus on new, innovative plot lines that showcase its characters at their most compelling and, hopefully, leave behind the flops that have tainted their legacies.